Hey guys, welcome to the New Earth Project. I'm David Caxero, and today I want to talk a little bit about transformation. And I want to share a couple of things with you if you're looking to make a change within yourself or your life. Maybe you want to live a little bit more mindfully, or you want to lose weight. Whatever that change looks like for you, I want to share a couple of things that have really helped me in my journey of making changes within myself and my life, and things that I wish I would have known before I tried to embark on this journey. Things that would have made this journey a little bit more easier, or would have allowed me to understand the process a little bit more. Because a lot of times we tend to fall off the wagon. We tend to give up before we see the result. And I think the things I'm going to share with you today will really help you stick with the process. So the first thing I want to talk about is this idea of inertia. And if you're not familiar with what inertia is, the best way I can describe it is, imagine you have a car and the car is parked. It's in neutral, so it can roll. But you have to push it with your bare hands to get it rolling. When you first try to push the car, it's going to take a lot of effort to get it rolling, right? But then once the car is rolling, it's not nearly as difficult. You don't have to apply nearly as much force to get it to continue to roll, right? The same is true for us in our lives. When we are stagnant, when we're complacent, or when we're moving in a direction, we have momentum going in a certain direction that isn't the way we want to be going. Like, so for example, let's say a person's living an unhealthy lifestyle. They're eating a lot of fast food, they're staying up really late, they're always on their phone, whatever that looks like, they have a certain amount of momentum going in a certain way. And they want to start moving, taking their life a different direction. Well, they have to overcome the momentum that they had going this way so that they can bring their life back going the other way, start making different choices, changing their mindset, all of these different things. So when we set out to make a change within ourselves, a lot of times it gets really hard at the beginning. It's extremely hard to start making that change because we're either stagnant, we're either complacent, like that car, or we have momentum going in a different direction. So overcoming that inertia, it takes time and it takes consistency with every decision. Think about it this way. This is really important. Every decision you make carries momentum with it. Okay? So when we make a decision, let's say that decision was, I came home from work, I was stressed out, and I grabbed the chip bag and I just started eating my emotions away. Emotional eating is quite common. Well, that is going to lead me to probably another decision that's unhealthy, that's carrying me more in this direction, right? Whereas, think about it this way. If I were to come home after work, after a stressful day, and let's say I went for a walk, or I did a meditation, or I went to the gym, or I did something that was more in alignment with the healthy, mindful lifestyle that I wanted to take I wanted to go in, that direction I wanted to go in. It's going to be easier to make decisions that are more in alignment with those healthier decisions, right? And I'm sure you can relate to this in your own life. I call it the pebble that causes the landslide. And quite often when people fall off the wagon with things, it's typically one thing that causes a cascade of other little choices that leads to the entire, what I call the landslide, which is falling off the wagon. They binge drank, or they binge ate, or they did something that wasn't in alignment with the direction they wanted to go, with the goal that they have, right? And so it just comes down to decisions, and that idea that every decision you make carries momentum with it. So overcoming inertia is just one decision at a time. And it's so easy to get caught up in all of the decisions you have to make, with this change that you want to make in your life. Let's say you want to lose weight, or you want to, like I said, live more mindfully, or whatever that change is. It seems like it's a mountain that you have to climb, right? And it's so easy to look at the top of this mountain and say, oh my God, I have to climb this whole thing. That's not the case, It's just one decision at a time. And if you take it one decision at a time and be as mindful and as disciplined and make every decision aligned with the person that you want to become or the lifestyle that you want to live, before you know it, you'll be at the top of that mountain, that destination, but it's not going to be such an overwhelming thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So overcoming inertia is just one decision at a time, being as mindful as you can be and sticking with it. The reason I want to share this is because it is very hard at the beginning when you first set out to make this change. It's like that sticking point when you first try to get that car moving. It's like you try and push it and it's not moving. You just have to push and keep pushing and keep putting that mental conscious effort in to make the change, to keep moving in that direction. And your life will start to shift. You will start to shift. So inertia is the first thing I want to share with you. The second thing I want to address is what I call the latency period. This is where people start to get discouraged when they're putting in the effort and they're still not seeing the results. Okay? So where we are today, how you feel today mentally, physically, emotionally, if you're trying to change your body, the way you look, how you look is a conglomeration of all the things that you've been doing over the past few weeks and months. Okay, so when we set out to make a change, we start going to the gym, we start meditating, we start doing all these things. The change doesn't come instantaneously, right? It takes time. And obviously we've all heard that. But this is where it starts to get really discouraging, because maybe you put in like a month of solid, consistent, focused effort towards the change that you want to make within yourself or your life, and you're still not seeing the results. It's because there's that latency period. Everything that you did prior to that, like months prior, you're still seeing the results of that, the effects of that, even while you're trying to work on changing. So it's like a delay period. Let's say this is like 3 months ago and the results of that are here, and you started trying to make a change here. Well, you're still going to see the effects of all the things that you've done in the past few months while you're trying to change. And that can be extremely discouraging, right? So just know that this is the latency period. And when you start to work on these different things, whatever changes you're trying to make, you will see the changes. There's just a delay period, right? I can remember when I first set out to on my fitness journey, and I was taking progression pictures. And so I remember the first progression picture I took, compared it to the second one. The second one I felt looked almost worse than my first one. And then by month 3, it was, honestly, it looked pretty similar to the first picture I took. It wasn't until month 4 that I saw a massive change. It was like everything happened at once, but it didn't all happen at once. It was just all of the consistent effort and focus that I had put in over the past 3 months had compounded, and it seemed like there was all of a sudden just the quick result like that, right? There's a saying, and it goes something like, it took me, I think it was a soccer player that said this, it took me 27 years to be an overnight success. It's kind of that idea that it seems like there's just everything happens at once, but that's not actually the case. It very rarely is the case. It's usually all of the consistent focus, effort, discipline that a person puts in over time. They overcame that latency period of what they were doing before. They broke through that and they continued on with it, even though it was discouraging and they weren't seeing the results. And then they started to see the results. It seemed like everything started happening at once. And that's typically how it works when you're trying to make a change. So whatever you're going through, whatever you're trying to change within yourself, maybe you feel like you're in a rut. I know what it's like to be in a rut. And I know what it's like to not be comfortable in your body, to want to change the way you look, physically. You want to put on muscle mass, you want to lose weight, whatever that looks like. I know what it's like to feel like emotions in your mind really overtake you, like you don't have control, like you're you're just, it's compulsive living. I don't know if you feel that way, but I've been there, and it takes time to overcome these things. There's that inertia period. There is the latency period as well. And if you can understand these things and kind of know that they're going to be there, you won't let them get you down. You'll be able to stick it through, and you'll see it through, and you'll make the changes that you want to make. So these are just a couple of things I wanted to share with you as you kind of set out on your transformation journey, because I wish these were two things that I would have known when I set out to make changes in my life, and I'm really glad that I know about them now. But yeah, just a couple things I wanted to share with you. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you for the next video.